Hey everybody, Tim here. I'm going to show you something that I typically wouldn't do. I mean, as a fabricator, I definitely would never do, but I just picked up a car in South Carolina from a really nice feller, and I pretty much bought it because he was asking what the parts were worth. I'm a Chevy 2 junkie, and you saw my car in previous videos. Took it to have it sandblasted, and then it turned out to be a piece of Swiss cheese. So my thoughts were, find something in a little bit better shape. I did, not much, but it's better anyways. It ran and drove in the shop. I went for about a 5-mile ride in it down to South Carolina. And if I'd have looked at the front end of this car, I wouldn't have rode in it. But like I say, bought it for the parts. Got a new 9-inch in it, got a new small block Chevy, new turbo 350, new headers, new alternator, radiator, fan, dry shaft. A lot of new parts here. And like I say, I bought it for what the parts are worth. So I could take this car apart and sell it for more than I just paid for it. So like I say, super nice feller. If he watches my video, thanks Danny, appreciate it. Love the car. I mean, it's just, whoa, some of this shit's bad. So Kenny's here with me. He's trying to talk me off a ledge. So here goes. I'm going to show you what not to do, okay? Here goes. This is it. 63 Chevy 2. 9-inch Ford, ladder bars. Stuff in the back end isn't bad. The panhard rod is too short. I'm going to fix that, but all in all, it's not bad. Somebody was building this for a Southeast Gassers car and gave up on it. Probably not a bad idea. But Danny himself, he was not a fabricator he's a car guy, but he's not a mechanic. So he was at somebody else's mercy on this car. The front clip was already installed, and I think it's a height, so I'm not sure. But it was on the car. The axle was in the car. He basically had them put the drivetrain in it and get it running for him. This car has a 6-inch drop axle. And it's a Speedway axle, but it's not a Speedway front clip. So I'm hoping that you can see what they did to the steering box. They sort of kinda welded a piece of 2x3 tubing on the frame, and then they sort of kind of welded the steering box to that, and they sort of kind of welded these pieces in. And I mean, I'm trying to be nice when I say sort of kind of. So sort of scary. Like I say, I didn't look at it real close when I went for a ride. Car runs great, motor runs great, trans shifts smooth, everything's good there. But I noticed when he would turn a corner that he had to take it real easy because it had no Ackerman in it, and that's because these steering arms aren't right. These are Speedway Motors arms, and they're typically designed to be on the back side. This type of car here, like I say, that steering arm there is the steering arm for the right side of the car. Then this steering arm over here is for the left side of the car. So they're backwards. And I don't know if you can see this. I'm gonna try to show you this. I'm gonna try to turn my level on. Here. Yeah, Kenny's got my light. I don't know if you can read this. I'm gonna try to get you in there where you can read it. It says 1.4 degrees of positive caster. That means the axle is leaning forwards 1.4 degrees. And when you're building a gasser, like that's super bad. These things need, like for a street car, need a minimum of 8 degrees. I typically build them at 10. So like I say, this is positive caster. This is what you put in a dump truck or something, not a car. So I mean, and I didn't drive it, I rode in it. It went down the road okay. We didn't go super fast. He got on it once just to show me that the motor was, you know, probably made the power it did, but man, oh man. Like I say, 6-inch drop axle. It's leaning the wrong direction. The shock mounts are hideous. They picked the wrong shocks. And I'm going to try to get underneath the front end so you can see this catastrophe. So, here goes nothing. 6-inch drop axle, but then they put a piece of 2-inch tubing in there to raise the car up a little bit. And I believe it's an aftermarket clip. I thought it might be a Heights or something like that, but the welding is like, the welding on a basic clip isn't bad, but this stuff that the guy that put it together is horrible. So, but look at this. It's a Vega box designed to cross steer, but they hooked it up over here on the left side of the car, and the radius rod, or the drag link, is super short and it's on an angle, so this thing has to have incredible amount of bump steer in it. Just crazy the way this is done. The ears, if you look at the steering arms, the ears are super long on it, and that just means they'll bend. You want them as short as possible. So like I say, this is like super freaking sketchy. See the shock tabs? They're scary. What I want to share with you on this car, and my buddy Kenny said this, there should be a warning label on a welder that says, a welding machine I should say, that says, just because you own this don't mean you are one, because this is sketchy. I've not checked toe in, but I noticed when he was getting ready to load it on the trailer for me that it was trying to rip the front wheels off the car. I mean, and we're talking at low RPM or low, you know, low wheel speed. You try to go 100 miles an hour in this thing and it frickin' kill you. You know, it would kill you. This thing has the short springs in it, like a 28-inch center to center eye spring, which is not good. I don't like using those, so, but it's what it's got. I'm not going to change that part of it, but I'm going to put cross steering in it and put a right axle. I'll get a new axle from Ron Pope. I'm probably going to put a 2-inch drop axle in it and get that block out of there, try to fix all that junk, so it's all better. But I mean, all in all, like I say, ladder bars aren't bad. I'm not a big fan of that. But you know, there's some Bondo in the body that I'm going to fix, and fix the rear wheel well radius, stuff like that. That's immaterial. But my key here is I wanted everybody to see this front end. I mean, oh my, don't do this. Don't do this. I mean, if you're running into problems, send me some pictures and stuff like that, and I'll try to talk you through it, because this is scary. I mean, there's no dust covers on the bearings, so there's dirt in the bearings, and you know, odds and ends I gotta fix. But like I said, I bought this car cheap enough that, I mean, I can strip it apart and sell the parts and make money. I'm okay with that. And I don't know when the last time it was I bought a junker like this that would run and drive, so. And I'm trying to be nice. I call it a junker, but it's mine. If I thought it was that bad, I wouldn't have bought it. I'd have drove home, but yeah. Think about it. It's got, you know, 4-inch aluminum slots on the front. Those things are selling for $700–800 right now. Aluminum slots on the back. It's got 35 spline Moser axles, and the housing. It's got a Speedway motor center section in it, which will probably have to go almost immediately. But I mean, honestly, you look at it, it ain't that bad. And I wanted a car myself personally that I could leave set on my open trailer in the rain and not worry about it. And hey, this is going to be it. So I'll make a video coming up here after a bit. I got to buy a hood for the car. He got hood hinges, but it doesn't have a hood. And I want to get it so that if it does get rained on, it's not raining in the motor, because the motor's really good. It's a 331 from what I understand, or a 333. 350 block a 307 crank in it. Got a good set of heads. Sounds pretty healthy. I hate HEI distributor, so that'll go, but runs good. Like I say, everything's new. Motor's new, alternator, headers, transmission, drive shaft. The rear end stuff's all brand new. All the brakes are new. So, like I say, radiator. So if you're thinking you want a gasser, maybe you want to look around and find something like this that you can fix versus building one from scratch. Because when you do what I do, like the cars that I build are, you know, just rolling are $45,000, so that could be rough on a guy. Okay, I wanted to show you this. Just give you a heads up on what's going on. The Willys, it's at a bit of a standstill. Right now, on this thing, I got to cut the front end. I don't know if you can see in there. I'm going to try. I got to cut the front end so the valve covers will stick out there and get it slid on. The motor's mocked up. You know, I showed you that video. No, I didn't show you that video, but I'll show you that soon. How I got it mocked up temporarily so I can think about where it's got to go. You know, I can slide it around a little bit. I got a little tack here on my fixture just to keep it from falling out of the car, but I'm there. This is all the tin work out of the Mustang. I'm gonna bead roll all this stuff, get it, I got it all detailed. All the holes are cleaned up and detailed and filed and sanded. I just gotta bead roll it a little bit. I'll show you the body. It's in the back room. It's ready to paint the inside. I have to clean it and sand it, and I have to fix a hole. Like they chopped a hole in the dash right there for the radio, so I'm going to fill that and fill these little holes here for the switches, and then I'll paint the inside of this satin black. Clean it all up, paint it satin black. The chassis at the powder coater, we'll have that back here in another day or so, and we'll start throwing this together, and I'll share some more videos of this fine automobile. Like I say, think about it. Buy parts and pieces, or buy something somebody's already got part way together, but know what you're looking at, because this front end on this car is scary. Okay, thanks for watching. See y'all.